I know 0 and 1. That's all you really need.
Wait a minute. That's Morse code. I learned that at camp. P-R-O... Prostitute? Wait. F... Prostitute? E-S-S... Oh, of course! Prostitute! No, wait. O-R... Professor! He must need something. But what? H-E-L... Oh, he needs helium! No! Help! He needs help in Numberland!
A painting, a hidden code, and a portal that should have never been opened. Fry just wanted to make art. Instead, he opened a gateway to a dimension made entirely of numbers. The episode kicks off with Fry and Leela having a quiet evening with Amy and Kif. Their daughter shows them one of her drawings and, well, things are painfully dull. So dull, in fact, that Bender and the older son are practically dying of boredom. To pass the time, Bender tries using one of his antennae as a radio antenna, a ridiculously outdated idea that, of course, doesn't work. Until suddenly, he picks up a strange station broadcasting nothing but numbers, and that drives him completely nuts.
Help, 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 help! The radio's saying numbers at me!
1,362, 34,969.
Aw, that's just a number station, Bender. Some people think it's spies communicating in code.
Turn it off! Turn it off!
I'm not touching your antenna.
290.
Afterwards, it turns out Bender is now terrified of numbers, specifically any number higher than 1. Meanwhile, Fry stumbles across an art store, which is right up his alley. He's always been passionate about painting, and his dream is to someday be like Bob Ross. The next day at Planet Express, Zoidberg gives the professor a miracle pill that will extend his life from 10 to 20 more years of absolute misery. Right then, a lottery drawing begins. And wouldn't you know it, the numbers that come up are the exact same ones Bender heard on the radio the night before. Amy starts to wonder if it's some kind of code, maybe a message someone or something is trying to send. At the same time, Fry is busy trying to become a real artist. He sits made a few paintings using what he calls magic, a paint-by-numbers kit that tells him exactly where and how to paint. And, well, everyone pretends they sits are actually really good.
What are you people talking about? Fry's paintings are crap. Wow! I mean, the foot paint makes me see how beautiful I'm saying they are.
Thanks to Fry's artwork, Amy realizes these numbers aren't random at all. They're an encrypted message blueprints for building something much bigger. All they need to do is finish coloring it in to figure out what kind of machine they're supposed to build. Fry does his part, painting it with the hope that it sits going to turn out to be a kitten. He sits pretty disappointed when it sits not.
That's no kitten.
Rats! I'm gonna go paint a kitten.
Elsewhere, at a math fair, Bender shows up looking for help to overcome his fear of numbers. There, he runs into Danica McKellar, hoping she can give him some guidance. After all, Bender did write a book about how great he is.
See, I'm scared of numbers. I thought maybe you could help me.
Don't be afraid. If you're even half as great as your book jacket says you are.
I'm not! Nobody is!
Well, hopefully this will help. But if it doesn't, no refunds. Next!
Meanwhile, Fry is still working on his paintings. He gets discouraged for a bit, but it turns out Zoidberg secretly signed him up for an art contest, and one of his paintings actually got accepted. That means his work isn't so bad after all, and it lifts his spirits. Amy, on her end, finally finishes building the machine. No one knows what it actually does, until Bender flips it on, and just like that, it opens a portal. When they peek inside, Bender freaks out, not because there are monsters or anything, but because it's full of numbers higher than 1, and that's more than enough to traumatize him. The others decide to enter this strange dimension, where they discover massive numbers made out of cubes, each number made up of a number of blocks equal to its value. They run into 55, who explains that numbers in this world never age, never change, and never break down. The professor perks up at this, he's tired of aging, and decides he's going to stay in this place forever. Fry wants the professor to come with him to the art show, but the professor refuses. As far as he's concerned, Fry doesn't stand a chance at winning.
It won't be the same without him. I mean, I can't think of any actual difference. Just felt like somebody should say that.
Bender is furious that they're just letting the professor stay behind in Numberland, but at this point there's nothing they can do. Back in the number dimension, the professor is given a tour by number 55. He talks about the endless types of numbers that live there. But unfortunately, the professor starts making some very offensive comments explaining how back on Earth, numbers are mostly used to measure things. That deeply offends the locals. To them, it means humans see numbers as just tools, objects, not beings. As punishment, the professor is sentenced to be divided by 0. Turns out it's not literal, it's a kind of prison, a place with no escape. Inside, he meets another scientist, the original one who sent out the encrypted code that led to building the machine in the first place. Now that they're both trapped, the professor finds an old device the other scientist used and manages to send a Morse code distress signal. Bender, who happens to be the only one nearby, picks up the message. He remembers what Danica McKellar told him.
Don't be afraid. In your case only, I'd advise you to stay the heck away from math.
And in that moment of inspiration, he grabs his own book and throws it. It hits him in the head and knocks him accidentally into the portal. Back with Fry, the art show begins. He's entered a painting of a yellow flower, and he really believes he has a shot at winning. When it's time for the awards, third place goes to an older woman, second place goes to Fry. But then comes the twist. Turns out the contest is actually only for paintings made by animals. It's a pet art contest. Still, Fry manages to snag second place.
And where is your pet?
Oh, I'm not allowed to have pets. They always die. I'm on the Humane Society's no-adopt list.
I mean the animal who painted this.
Animal? I painted it.
But this contest is for paintings by animals.
It is?
Back in Numberland, Bender runs through the dimension in a panic until he finally reaches 0, where the professor is still trapped. There, they're brought before number 1, who serves as the judge, accusing them of committing acts of blasphemy. But Professor Cantor makes a bold claim even in a place like Numberland, where every number is supposed to exist. There's one number that doesn't belong to the same dimension as the rest. The revelation shocks everyone. As punishment for this so-called heresy, one of the largest and most powerful numbers appears to deliver judgment. But before anything can happen, Bender punches it, shattering it completely. That attack causes a chain reaction, and the three of them, Bender, the professor, and the other scientist, end up right at the edge of the portal that brought them to Numberland in the first place. Despite the chaos, Professor Cantor refuses to leave. He's too fascinated by this world of numbers and decides to stay behind to continue his research.
Not me, Herr Professor. What I love is the pure, abstract understanding. For me, even this world is too real.
Once they return home, Bender seals off the entrance to the number dimension for good.
I'm glad you're back, Professor. I mean, I don't really care. Just felt like somebody should say that.
I don't care either, but it does feel like I should say, thank you, Hermes.
But Professor is happy to be back, and Fry, in a touching gesture, erases his painting from the original blueprint so that only the numbers remain visible. And that sits where the episode ends.
I don't know which is more beautiful, the idea or the thing itself.